The sun shone softly on the small human colony called Nova Hope. It was a quiet place on a faraway planet, where children played in green fields and adults worked hard to build a new life. Among those children was a boy named Liam. Liam was only 8 years old. He loved to explore, to learn new things, and he dreamed of one day traveling to the stars. Liam's eyes were bright with hope. He lived with his parents in a small house near a forest. Every day after school, Liam would run outside, chasing butterflies or watching the strange purple birds that sang in the trees. The people of Nova Hope were proud. They had left Earth to build a better future far from war and danger. But one evening, everything changed. As the sun began to set, Liam was playing near the edge of the forest. Suddenly, dark shapes appeared in the shadows. They were aliens, strange, cold creatures from a nearby star system. These aliens had never liked humans. They thought humans were weak and not worthy of space. They had attacked other human colonies before, but none had ever been so cruel. The aliens grabbed Liam. He cried for help, but no one was near. The colony was too far away to hear him. The aliens did something terrible. They killed the child. They'd wanted to send a message, a warning to Earth and all human colonies. This was their way of saying humans should stay out of their space. The news traveled fast. Back on Earth, in the huge city of New Geneva, the news broke on every screen. Millions of people watched the story of Liam's murder. Mothers and fathers cried. Children held their parents tightly. The world stopped to listen. On the Earth government's big screen, a tall man named Commander Hayes stood in front of the leaders. His face was serious. "This is an attack on all humanity," he said. "We cannot ignore this." Commander Hayes was a brave man. He had fought many battles before, but this time it was different. This was personal. The leaders of Earth met in a tall building with shiny glass walls. They talked for hours. Some wanted to fight back right away. Others wanted to try to talk with the aliens first. But no one could forget the image of the small boy, Liam, whose life was stolen so cruelly. Among the crowd was a young woman named Dr. Mia Carter. She was a scientist who worked on space defense. She believed Earth was ready for something big, something the aliens would never expect. "We will build a warship," she said quietly, but with strong confidence. Not just any warship, one as big as a planet. A ship so powerful, it will protect all humans, no matter where they live. At first, people did not believe her. How could Earth build something so huge? But Dr. Carter had a plan. She showed designs of the warship, with giant engines, strong shields, and weapons that could destroy entire fleets. The idea spread fast. People began to hope. The anger turned into strength. Meanwhile, the aliens watched from their distant planets. They had not expected Earth to fight back so strongly. Some of their leaders worried. Others laughed, thinking humans were still weak and slow. But Earth was changing. Back in Nova Hope, the place where Liam had lived was quiet now. Flowers grew where children once played. The colony's people made a promise to remember Liam and to never let his death be forgotten. The sun rose again, shining over Earth and the stars beyond. And far away, deep in space, the first parts of the warship began to take shape. It was a new beginning, a new chapter in the war between humans and aliens. But no one knew what dangers waited ahead. Would Earth's new weapon be enough? Would the aliens stop their attacks? Or was a great war about to begin? The answers were still hidden in the dark space between the stars. The giant warship was ready. On Earth, people watched with wide eyes as the ship slowly moved out from its huge space dock. It was bigger than any city, bigger than many small countries. Some said it was the size of a planet. Its metal surface shined in the sunlight like a giant silver star. Captain Elena Vargas stood on the bridge of the warship. She looked out at the stars ahead. Her hands were steady, but inside, she felt the weight of the mission. This ship was Earth's last hope. and the first real weapon against the cruel aliens who killed Liam. Thousands of crew members worked inside the ship. They were humans from all over Earth, young and old, strong and smart. They had trained for this moment for years. The warship was filled with powerful engines, weapons, and shields. It could travel faster than any ship before. It was Earth's greatest creation. As the warship left Earth's orbit, a million voices cheered from space stations, satellites, and cities on the planet below. But far away, in a dark alien world, the news was not welcome. The alien leaders gathered in a large room carved from black stone. Their eyes glowed as they watched the warship appear on their screens. "This ship is a threat," said one leader, a tall alien named Zarthek. His voice was deep and cold. "It is bigger and stronger than anything we have seen." Another alien laughed. "Humans are weak. This ship is just a joke." But Zarthak did not laugh. "We must prepare. This warship will change everything." Meanwhile, inside the warship, a young soldier named Leo prepared for battle. Leo was only 20, but he was brave and ready. He looked at his friends and smiled. "We fight for Liam," he said. "We fight for all humans." As the warship moved through space, strange signals appeared on the ship's radar. The aliens were watching. They sent spies, small ships that moved like shadows. One spy ship flew close to the warship. Inside, an alien agent named Rix watched the massive ship with surprise. He did not believe humans could build something so powerful. Rix had a secret mission: to find the warship's weaknesses and stop it before it could reach alien space. Back on the warship, Captain Vargas and her crew prepared for the worst. They did not know when or where the aliens would strike, but they knew the war was coming. Suddenly, alarms rang through the ship. The radar showed many alien ships approaching fast. "Battle stations," Captain Vargas shouted. The warship's weapons powered up. Giant laser cannons turned toward the stars. The shields glowed bright blue. The first battle was about to begin. The silence of space was broken by a sudden roar. Captain Elena Vargas stood firm on the bridge of the giant warship. Outside the thick windows, hundreds of alien ships appeared like black shadows, moving fast toward Earth's greatest weapon. "Enemy fleet detected," the radar officer said. His voice was calm but tense. The warship's engines hummed louder. The shields powered up, glowing with bright blue light that spread across the ship like an invisible wall. "Prepare weapons. Ready the laser cannons and missile launchers," Captain Vargas ordered. Inside the control room, Leo, the young soldier, stood by his post. His heart beat fast, but he kept his eyes on the screens. "For Liam," he whispered, gripping his weapon tightly. The alien ships were strange and scary. Their shapes looked sharp and cruel, built only for attack. The alien commander, Zarthak, watched the battle from his own warship. He sneered, "These humans are foolish to fight us." But even Zarthak had a secret. Deep inside, he feared the humans more than he showed. He knew their warship was different, stronger and smarter than any enemy they had faced. The first shots flew through space. Bright laser beams cut through the dark. Explosions lit up the stars as ships on both sides were hit. The human warship's shields shook but held strong. "Enemy missile incoming," a crew member shouted. Missiles flew toward the warship, but powerful energy fields pushed them away. The crew cheered, but the battle was only beginning. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the warship's side. A missile found a weak spot. Alarms rang everywhere. "Damage report," Captain Vargas demanded. "Shields down to 50% on the starboard side," the officer replied. "Repairs teams are on it." In the chaos, Leo saw a small alien fighter sneaking through their defenses. It was fast and dangerous. Without thinking, Leo jumped into a small fighter ship. His mission was clear: stop the enemy before they could do more damage. The battle outside was fierce. Laser beams flashed, ships collided, and space filled with fire and smoke. Back on the warship, Captain Vargas gave orders with calm voice. "Keep fighting. Protect the ship." Suddenly, the alien spy Rix appeared on the warship's security cameras. He had managed to sneak aboard using a hidden shuttle. Rix moved silently through the corridors. His mission was to find the warship's control room and shut down the secret weapon, the sun-powered cannon that could destroy the alien fleet. But the young human child, Ava, who was on board as a special observer, saw Rix moving strangely. Ava was only 10, but smart and brave like Liam had been. She followed the spy quietly and tried to stop him. "Stop!" she shouted as she jumped in front of Rix. The spy froze, surprised by the child. For a moment, Ava and Rix stared at each other, both knowing the future of the battle could change in this moment. Inside the massive warship, the tension was high. The battle outside had damaged parts of the ship, but the crew worked fast to fix the problems. Captain Elena Vargas stood by the command center, watching the radar and the battle reports. The secret weapon was their last hope, a huge cannon powered by the sun's energy. It was called the Solar Lance. No enemy had ever faced anything like it. If fired, it could destroy entire fleets in seconds. Dr. Mia Carter, the scientist who helped design the warship, stood nearby. She explained to the captain, "The Solar Lance needs time to charge. Once it is ready, it can fire a beam as bright and hot as the sun." Captain Vargas nodded. "We need it ready before the enemy returns." Meanwhile, the young child, Ava, stayed close to the command center. She was still worried about the alien spy, Rix. After their encounter, Ava knew Rix wanted to stop the Solar Lance from working. Rix moved silently through the ship's corridors. His alien body was small and fast, perfect for sneaking. He found the entrance to the weapons control room. Using strange tools, he began to hack the system. Suddenly, Ava appeared again. "Stop! You can't destroy this," she shouted. Rix froze, surprised. "You are just a child," he said quietly. "Why do you protect this weapon?" Ava stood firm. "Because it can protect all humans and stop the war." For a moment, Rix seemed unsure. But then his eyes hardened. "You don't understand. The aliens want peace, but only if humans stop fighting." Ava shook her head. "Peace is no peace if they kill our children." Back in the command center, alarms suddenly blared. Rix is inside the weapon room. A crew member shouted. Captain Vargas ordered the security team to stop him immediately. Meanwhile, Leo was still fighting in space. His small fighter chased the alien ships that tried to sneak behind the warship. He fired lasers with skill and courage, protecting his home. Suddenly, the Solar Lance finished charging. A huge glow lit up the weapon room. The beam was ready. "Fire the Solar Lance," Captain Vargas ordered. The warship aimed the Solar Lance at the alien fleet. A brilliant beam shot out, as bright as a star. It tore through enemy ships, destroying many in a single blast. The alien ships were shocked and began to retreat. But the battle was not over. Rix tried one last time to stop the weapon, but Ova and the security team caught him. He was taken to the brig, the ship's prison. The crew cheered. The Solar Lance had changed the fight. The warship floated in space, glowing from the light of its great battle. The Solar Lance had destroyed many alien ships, but the enemy was not gone. In fact, the aliens were bringing more fighters, bigger and stronger than before. Captain Elena Vargas stood on the bridge, her eyes sharp. "They are coming again," she said. "Get ready." The crew moved fast, checking weapons, shields, and engines. Leo was back in his fighter, flying through space to protect the warship from smaller attacks. Inside the brig, the alien spy Rix sat quietly. He looked at Ava, the brave child who had stopped his plan. "You are brave," he said, "but this war will not end with weapons." Ava looked back. "Maybe, but it will end with hope." The alien commander, Zarthak, gathered his fleet for a final attack. "Destroy the warship," he ordered. "End the humans' fight." The battle began again, louder and more violent. Lasers and explosions filled the darkness of space. The warship shook but stood strong. Captain Vargas gave orders calmly. "Fire all weapons. Protect the solar lance." Leo fought bravely, taking down enemy fighters one by one. Suddenly, an alien ship flew close to the warship's engines. Leo raced after it and stopped it just in time. The warship's shields were low, and many crew members worked hard to repair the damage. Every second was a fight for survival. Then, Zarthak's ship appeared right in front of the warship. He wanted to face Captain Vargas himself. The two commanders met on a small, neutral ship between the fleets. Their faces were hard, filled with anger and pain. "You killed Liam," Vargas said quietly. Zarthak's eyes flickered with regret. "It was a mistake, but your warship forced us to fight." They fought with words and weapons, but in the end, Captain Vargas stood strong. Back on the warship, Ava watched as the solar lance charged again. She thought about Liam and all the children who needed protection. The solar lance fired once more, a bright beam crossing the stars. The alien fleet broke apart and fled. Earth's warship had won. The battle was over. For now. Captain Vargas looked at her crew. "We survived because we fight together," she said, "and because we never forget the cost of war." Ava smiled, knowing Liam's spirit was with them all. The warship turned toward home, carrying hope for the future.